everyone. My name is Temitope and you're welcome to a new episode of Mentor-ish. Now I have a very special guest to meet today. My beautiful friend, Eboluwade Tayo. Now, Ebon is not just a friend, she's a sister to me. She is an awesome person. That's why I have her here on this channel. I mean, apart from the fact that she's my friend, I also feel like our conversation today is relatable, and seeing the way she recently navigated through this, I feel like she is in the best position to talk about this. So let me just give you a brief intro of who Ebon is. Ebon is a seasoned relationship manager at, one of the top financial institutions in Nigeria. She's good at what she does. She's at the top of her game. And of course, she's a very positive-minded person, goal-driven, and she's one of the persons who actually gives me this balance and brings so much happiness and joy and sanity to my life. So my friend, I love you so much. And let me say this, this is not usually something she does. And I just told her about this. I told her I wanted her on this channel, and without any hesitation, like she does everything else for me. Like, she just agreed to do this, and I'm just so thankful to have her here. My friend,
I love you, baby.
Thank you. So what do you have to say? Maybe a short intro so they get to know you.
She has said it all. Hi, it's good to be here, and I'm glad to be doing this with my sister.
All right. So today we are going to be talking about a very interesting topic. But before we delve into the topic, if it's your first time here, you're very much welcome. I'm always your host, Temitope. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please click on the subscribe button below. And of course, subscribe to this channel to get very interesting contents like this that you are about to watch. So with that being said, let's delve right into today's topic. So today, we will be talking about how to get over a breakup. Yes. And why I specifically chose you for this topic because, you recently came out of a breakup and the way you navigated through it. I'm really proud of you because I've seen your growth in the last few years and the way you stepped out of this and went about your business. Your work wasn't affected, your relationship with your friends wasn't affected, your relationship with God wasn't affected. So I felt like, of course, you would be in the best position to talk about this. So I'm going to be asking you a few questions and of course hear your answers, and I'll also give my personal answers too, right? So we're going to make this as interactive as it can be. Okay,
that's fine.
So the first question is, what is the worst relationship experience you've ever had?
Okay, I'll say it's actually different for all the relationships I've had. So there's no worse, there's no bad, and do you get? They all hit differently.
Right.
They all hit differently.
Okay. But was there like a specific experience that made you say, I'm out? It just made you zone out and let you know that you're not doing this?
Okay, I think my recent breakup was, would I say, it wasn't like the previous ones.
Okay.
The recent one, we just stopped communicating. Unlike the previous ones, the both of us would have been talking about it.
Right.
Would have been noticing that there's this disconnect, and it would just gradually fade off, right? But this one, we literally went to opposite directions.
Wow. But did you sense it? Were you prepared? Did you have any prior knowledge or understanding that this was going to happen? Did you just sense it in any way?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did, and I think that was one of the biggest mistakes.
Wow.
In this previous, the last relationship. Wow. Trust me. I think for the last one, and I think most ladies make this mistake very often. We always sense when it is time to go, it's time to walk away. we always sense when it's time to walk away. So when you sense it, when you have that nod in your spirit, just walk away. Because if you try as much, if you like somersault, that's the truth.
Right.
Because if you try harder, you will just lose yourself in the process. And that's what happened to me. I was trying harder, I was pushing harder, it must work. And at the point I lost myself. So I knew it was already getting to that point where it's going to lead to a breakup eventually. Because when I'm in a relationship with you, what goes through my head is, this will be my last. So I put in my all. I do everything I can to make it work.
And considering the fact that you love hard, I mean, I've seen you love people, even your friends, and when someone that when she's in love with you, trust me, she loves you very deep. Her friends, she does so many things for me, and in my head, I'm like, ooh, like, this is a great friend. Someone who she's in a relationship with, like, it's always on another level. So, of course, I know how that must have felt. Okay?
I'm fine now, I'm in a better place.
Of course, I know that, and I'm proud of you. So for me, what very bad experience did I have? Okay, I'm going to also buttress on what the point you mentioned that you just know. I think women just have this, God has given us this intuition to be able to tell when you are not the only woman in the fix or in the scenario or in the situation. But of course, because you love this person, it's natural for you to just want to keep trying. I told myself, okay, I think I just would want the person I want to be with to also reciprocate that. I want the person to be able to go over and beyond. So when I feel like I'm the one doing all of that in a relationship, it makes me want to step back. Because as a woman, you want a man who can go over and beyond for you. Considering the fact that you're not going to be the only one in the marriage, you have your children and you just want to feel that. So if you don't feel that way from the start, I feel like if you're the one that constantly pulls and gives in so much, you set the trend already for the marriage, and that's how it's going to be.
And I remember my brother used to tell me that relationship is always the honeymoon phase.
Right.
Marriage is where the work is. Right? So if you are not enjoying the relationship, how do you want to enjoy the marriage? I think for us, we've passed that stage where I'm just dating to see how it goes.
Yes.
We've really passed that stage.
I said that one of my posts.
So if we are in a relationship now, we are in a relationship because, okay, I want to eventually spend the rest of my life with this person. Do you understand? We are working towards a goal. Do you understand? Even if it doesn't even lead to marriage, because you know there's some relationships that you both did the right thing.
Right.
Do you understand? You tick all the buttons, but eventually it just didn't work out. That way, you wouldn't even feel, I think you won't even feel so bad. Like the hurt will not be as much as when it's just one-sided and you're just putting in all the effort. One person is putting in all the effort and then he just wakes up one day and blocks you.
That's crazy. I really don't know how you went through that. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I remember you going through that, and once again I have to say I am proud of you because you dealt with that rather like a G. You dealt with it so well, and I'm so proud of you.
And the most surprising thing, everybody knows me as a cry baby.
Yes, that's what I'm proud of you. Because
the most surprising thing about this one is I did not cry.
Yeah.
Like I think I can remember just one or two scenarios, and the only time I cried was okay. So I divided the stages of how I healed into 3 phases. Right. The first phase was where I just channeled all my energy to all the bad things he did, like all the terrible things I faced, I had to go through in the relationship and all of that. I channeled it there. That was the first stage. After that, I moved to the next stage where, okay, I now started letting go of the love, the emotions, I'm not one of deleting pictures and all of that. Even when I delete pictures on my phone, even when you delete pictures on your phone, do you use Snapchat? Please, the memories will still come. Okay, so Snapchat will still bring memories. Google will still bring memories.
If it was me, I would delete the Snapchat, delete everything. If I
I
can
don't
even
have
delete
that.
your
I don't have that
I'll
strength.
follow you on Instagram. Please, I need to protect my mental space and
Oh
energy. Like
God.
at least for me to
I don't.
heal.
I really don't have that strength. So I let go of the love, everything I felt, and then the third stage was where I now started talking to people about it. If I had let go of the first two stages and I'd moved to the last stage where I was talking to people about it, I'll just realize that for every time I'm talking about it, I'm crying. And
We'll still buttress on all of these points when we get to the third question. We'll still buttress on it. But let me just say this, because you also mentioned it. I think for women like ourselves who tend to love very hard, sometimes we get it mixed up. Or let me talk about myself. You know, before I used to feel like your love is strong enough to like weather any storm. But now I understand that love is not
not enough.
Like it is not enough. Yes, you might love someone, but is the person good for you? Are you guys compatible?
Yes.
And I feel like these are one of the things that I have recently learned in my own relationship.
Yes.
So I know that yes, there are two sides to a story, right? So I'm not going to ask you what happened because I feel like that would also be unfair to the other party. But then I am someone that I prefer to take accountability for all of your actions. So yes, the person did a lot of things to you that even I am aware of, and I could break his head now, but I know that possibly there are some mistakes that you also made along the line, and of course you must have learned from it for your new relationship you're going into. So what mistake do you think you made, and how do you think you learned from it?
Okay. First of all, I'll say one mistake I made was I did not walk away when I was supposed to. This relationship in particular took about 2 years, and deep down, it ended like 4 months into the relationship.
Wow.
But I still stayed 2 years.
Okay.
So I didn't walk away when I was supposed to. That's one mistake I made.
You made it, okay?
The second mistake I made was I did too much. I did too much.
Yeah.
It's not marriage. And the closest people to me told me. My brother said so. So many mentors that I look up to at some point said so. But I was blinded in love. Right? So everything everybody said then did not make sense. And one thing I realized is these people are talking from the perspective of love. They're concerned about me, right? So to some extent I felt, oh, you guys were doing too much, guys. Let me face it myself and let the fire burn me, and then let me know that it hurts, and then I won't go back to it. So that's what I just did. So two things: I didn't walk away when I was supposed to, and the second one was I did too much.
Well, like let's summarize it this way: doing wifey duties.
Yes,
in
please.
Relationship.
Trust
Okay.
me, guys always know who they want to get married.
Word.
Because even from close people that are male friends, I will hear them say, this one is just friends with benefit. I can't be with this one. This is my wife. And you'll see that the one that is the friends with benefit is the one that is doing so much.
Bending over backwards. Oh, sorry.
And there is one elder brother that told me something, that men are hunters. They always want something to, their trail is, they want to search for something.
Yeah. So when you make it easy, they just lose the steam.
And I remember very well, countless times, my ex would tell me, why am I, don't do it. Like, the don't do it is like, don't make yourself too available. Like, he gave me some hints, some little jabbing. And I could have just picked it as a 10. But no, I did not. So,
But I mean, I don't blame you. Even I was deceived because I mean, I used to really, I used to canvas for him and like tell you. I mean, so I also thought he was. I mean, but then that's that. So I don't blame you. I'm saying even I couldn't see it. So
and you know one thing about guys is that when they meet you, we are always when we meet a guy and we're in a relationship, we're always concerned about. Our concern is, I just want to be in love. I want butterflies in my belly. I want to have fun. That's what is in our head as ladies. But for guys, they are studying you to see your flaws, your weaknesses. They are taking their time, do you understand, to see through you, right? But we are just letting loose, and then we are just being we.
right.
So
Carried away by the whole
yes,
emotions and
but
all.
guys will take their time to just monitor you, study you, do you understand, so that they have points to always hold on
To
to.
refer to when
Yes.
you're doing the final evaluation. Makes sense. For me, I feel like in my own previous relationship, my mistake I feel like I learned from. And to be honest, this was not the first time I made this mistake. I feel like I've made this mistake in a couple of relationships I've had. When someone is, like we said earlier, love is not enough. When someone is not emotionally available, don't feel like your love or your emotions or your feelings for the person can change that.
Yeah.
I always feel like, oh, because we love each other so much, we can weather it out and I can make you see reasons why you should do this. And I just feel like in my head, I feel like I can fix you. Like I want to fix you and make things better for you. We can go through this together.
Pastor Urian always say you can change a person.
And then
Yeah,
you realize that
can't.
when you're in the process of fixing this person, you get hurt in the process. You also begin to bear some bruises because this person is still healing. And of course, you're the person this person is taking it out on. And you are also bearing some bruises, some hurts. So for me, the lesson I've learned is if someone tells you, oh, I really like you, but I'm not ready, you're not ready.
Yes.
Don't force it.
Yes.
Don't feel like you can get them to change their mind.
Yes.
Which brings us back to your previous point. When a man knows what he wants it. So for me, I feel like one thing I've learned is I want to be with someone whoever I'm going to be with has to be intentional.
Yes.
You need to know that you want this as much as I do. We're not doing, let's see how this goes, or we like each other, or I'm still not there yet, I'm just trying to come out of something. Because realistically, everyone at our age has come out of something.
Yes.
So you have to be ready. If you're not prepared, for me, I'm not going to just stay around and just weather the storm together. It's too much heartbreak, too much headache. Okay, my friends. So the third question is, how did you get over your last heartbreak? I'm actually curious because you are a crying baby and you did not really cry. You were all James Bond and I'm really proud of you. So how did you get over it?
I would say that I concentrated more on work. I just buried myself with work. And then I had amazing people around me. My goodness, if I start the list right now, I had friends for everything. Like, I had friends where if they don't hear anything from me or hear from me in 3 hours, they're already calling my phone that, where are you? What are you doing? All those things gradually made me forget him. Do you understand? I concentrated more with church activities. I literally buried myself this year with
I
church.
like having like the right circle, friends, family.
More like it. I think, and then my mom, prayers as well also helped, because I just kept telling God that I know it's hard. Whatever soul tie, whatever, just let loose, like break it.
Yeah.
And it actually worked. It worked. I know most people are always fond of rebound, but I think I tried it once with the previous relationships when we were way younger, right? And that rebound thing doesn't work. I don't even know how guys do it, because guys do it more often.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it.
I
They
feel like
just
it's just like a coping mechanism for them to just
to
not
just
really
move
feel
on.
the pain.
They just move on to
They
the
don't-
next.
Exactly. They don't want to feel the pain. They don't want to like settle in, because for you to move past it, the truth is you have to go through that process.
That
have to
healing
go through that
process.
phase
You
of
have to
grief
heal.
first.
Yes. Yes.
And a lot of persons run
Yes.
away from that grief.
Yes.
They don't want to face that.
They
grief.
don't want to face it.
So you see a lot of people turning to alcohol,
Yeah.
turning to drugs, because they don't want to feel that pain. So for me too, one of the things I did, of course, I got very busy, work, my personal life, started doing a lot of things, set up new goals for myself. So I begin to achieve them. I got very busy. And I'm not even going to lie, I did this also. I deleted every picture. I mean, every single picture. Anything that reminds me of this person, I discarded it, because I just wanted to be in this right place. Now, I can see those things are not, but at that point, I just wanted to.
Right now, we even see it as a joke. You know, when conversations like that come up, to me, it feels
to the person.
yes, like when
I don't know how people talk to their exes.
no. The truth is there's some. No, I don't talk. The truth is there's some exes that you talk to, right? And there's some that I don't even want to see. If you come close to me, do you get?
I understand.
I know some people are not a big fan of. They just want to end everything they have with their exes, but I'm not so much of that. Like, because by the time I say it is done, it is done in my head, mentally, physically, everywhere. Like, it's done. I'm done. Even if I see you, the affection will not be there.
Not be there.
It will just feel like pity.
Right.
It will feel like pity to me. So even if any of my exes are in the same space with me right now, I'll just smile like, oh, hi, it's nice to meet you.
I think I'll do the same, but in all honesty,
I won't go
don't
back
think
home
we'll be
to
friends. I don't think I would even want to talk.
No, you have to draw boundaries. Don't get it wrong.
Okay.
I'm not saying friends. There's nothing to be friends about.
Okay, when you guys can still be like cordial when you see each other, like when you bump into each other.
Yeah, more like that. You have to draw the line. Because if you don't draw the line, you always have to draw the line. The boundaries has to be drawn. But we're not enemies.
Right.
And I always tell almost everybody I've dated, we are two good people that are not meant to be together. Because I know I'm a good person.
Yes, you are.
And for me to even be with you, because I think the least of the relationship I've been all my life is 2 years. It's always more than that. 2-3 years. So for me to be with you for 2-3 years, then it means you're a good person.
Yeah.
There must have been one thing or the other that I must have seen in you that got me attracted to you in the first place, right? And I tell people, most people that know me know that I'm not after the finances. I'm not after the looks, although I get to get very fine boys.
Yes, you do.
But I'm not after the looks. Just take care of yourself. Look good.
Presentable.
Yes, presentable. That's the word. And that's all.
So for me, I feel like what also helped me is I had to remind myself of who I am.
I did that too.
Reminding myself that, look, I'm the prize, because anybody who has me should feel honored and happy to have me.
Yes, please.
So
yes.
I had to remind myself, because I recently spoke with a friend who just got through a very painful heartbreak, and this person made her begin to have self-doubt. She almost lost herself, and I had to start reassuring
I even
her.
lost myself at a point. Yes.
I had to start reassuring her that, do you know who you are?
Yeah, exactly.
This person, do you know how I see? Because really, she's all that. I wasn't just capping. She really is all that.
Yeah.
But she was in a relationship with a very narcissistic person. So the person made her always feel like she was the problem.
Yeah, right.
So at some point, she even told me she had to see a shrink, or that is psychologist for that. Like, she had to go for therapy. So that's how deep it was. And I had to make her understand, look, you are not the problem.
Yeah.
This person
is the problem.
Right? So reminding yourself of who you are. And I feel like this also applies to not just females, it also applies to guys.
To guys too.
Because when you talk to a lot of guys, you see that they also bleed the same way women do.
Yeah.
They just might not
Show it.
Because I have a couple of male friends who, I mean, they became someone else because of the last relationship.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
And then you're like, you're not this person, and like this relationship made me this person. And you have to start making them understand that look, you're not going to lose yourself and become someone else because someone else hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, apart from the fact that you want to be good for the next person who is coming, even for yourself, because these things leave this emotional and everlasting
Damage, yes.
that if you're not careful, you become a very bitter person, and when you're bitter, it actually translates into every other part of your life. It translates into every other relationship, friendships, every other relationship, and then you realize that you become very unforgiving. You begin to hold so much resentment, hate, and I even sometimes I ask myself, like, how do some people pray knowing that you bear some kind of grudge or resentment towards? For me, I just let everything go because I can't talk to God when I know that I'm angry with someone else. For me, I just like to let everything just go because I know that's the only way
at the early stage of even for me at the early stage of the breakup, it was hard to even pray because I was angry in my spirit. I was hurt. I was angry in my spirit. So to pray was a problem.
And that's another thing. The devil would like to capitalize on it.
Yes.
Because he knows that at that point you're maybe not, I don't want to use the word depressed, but you're in this very sad state. And of course the devil wants you to remain there because at that stage you can literally not achieve anything.
Yeah. But what reignited my spirit was my birthday last year. Some people sent messages and gifts and text messages, gifts, some words of encouragement. And when I got home that day, I wasn't even concerned about the gift. But I had to sit down to say, for people to actually say this about me.
Exactly.
Do you understand? Then there's something right. When you're doing the right thing, you expect you're 10 over 10 minus nothing.
Yes, you are. 10 over 10.
So I think that was what just brought back my spirit. And then earlier on this year, from the beginning of this year, I was fine, and I'm still fine.
You are, and you'll always be fine. So I think that brings us to the end of today's topic. I would really like to know your thoughts. How did you get over your own heartbreak? You can leave your comments down below in the comment box. If you have any questions, if you'd like to hear from me, you'd like to hear from Ebon, you can always drop your questions below.
Nobody should ask me the real story of the breakup because I'm never going to say that.
We're not taking you back there. We're not taking you back
there. I'm not going back there.
I have to especially say thank you again for agreeing to do this.
Anything, baby.
I know you had to be very part of yourself. You had to be vulnerable, and this is not something you get to do all the time, and I really appreciate that. I don't take that for granted. Thank you. I love you so much.
Baby. I love you too.
So mentor-ish. Until next time. See you. Bye.
Bye.